Hi, Dr. Alina Kolchitsky, Boutique Bodyworks, Lifestyle Medicine, Physical Therapy, Nutrition, and Fitness. Today we're going to make a skillet with eggplant. Eggplant is very nutritious in terms of polyphenols, not so much in your typical vitamins department, though it does have vitamin A and C. Otherwise, not a lot of stuff, but potassium it is high in. So just 3.5 ounces or 100 grams of eggplant contain over 230 milligrams of potassium. So it also has fiber, and we know fiber is good, and all the different colors of the rainbow give us different kinds of fiber that feed the different good gut microbiome bacteria in our intestinal tract. So we want all the colors. Eggplant is a great purplish color, although it comes in other varieties too. There's the white variety and there's a green variety. So today we're going to use an Indian eggplant. It's small, egg-shaped, which is more like the wild variety in India, and you could buy it at H-E-B in Lincoln Heights for the locals. That's where I found it. So the one on Bassi Road, it has that, and Asian eggplant are from Thailand, which is green egg-shaped one. So today we're going to use the purple egg-shaped one, and we're going to use tofu, but use the protein that you want to for you. I do like to use organic extra firm tofu. This is one brand I do like that you can also get at H-E-B in one of the dairy near the cheeses. Know that though it comes in this package, once you open it, you've got to keep it, and I do have a video about that, how to keep it. So we're going to get the tofu going first, and we're going to use some sesame oil. So I am using this, which I also got at H-E-B. It is non-GMO, so it's not organic, but non-GMO is the next best thing if you can't find organic. So we're going to get out our skillet and get the tofu going. So oil is good for you, but in small amounts, right? We need fats, we need healthy fats, and so preferably from plants, not animals, because animal fat does increase cholesterol, hypertension, risk for diabetes, cancer, all the chronic diseases. So aim, when you're using your healthy, choosing fats, aim for a plant-based fat. Now, seed oils or vegetable oils I'm not a fan of because of the high heat processing to create the oil can be inflammatory in the body. It changes the chemistry of the plant oil. So I opt for olive oil and sesame oil. So we're going to cut this. I'll lower this so you can see. Let's bring you down here maybe. I already have some herbs I cut from the garden. This is always great to have fresh herbs when possible. So removing the tofu from the package. And the package, once you've removed it, goes in the garbage or recycling, whatever. You're done with it. Okay, I'm going to give it a little rinse. Now, we're going to slice some of the tofu to go in our skillet. So for me, just a single person serving, I'm going to do about 3 slices because this is narrow compared to some of the other ones. So for me, that's about a serving of protein. And the rest is going to go in a glass container. Fill it with water until it's covered. Okay, so now my tofu is covered in water. And you could put it like that in the fridge. This container comes with a lid, so I'm going to put it in the fridge to keep it because it's kind of like dairy, except plant-based. Okay, so we're going to take our tofu and get it going in the skillet. So I'm just going to get it covered in the oil so we get good flavor, and so that when I turn the tofu during cooking, it's going to get crispy on both sides. So now I just put it to low heat, so just around 3, and I'll probably have to turn that down after a little bit. Okay, so while that's happening, we're going to prep our vegetables for the next stage. Okay, so we already have the herbs let's get out some onion, some garlic, and maybe some pepper will be nice to go with this as well. A little bit of sweet pepper. Okay, so this is what the egg-shaped type of eggplant variety looks like from India. It's purple, like your big ones, but it's small. So I have two. Two is going to be enough for me for my meal feeding one person. Okay, so we do need to wash it. Always wash your vegetables and fruits before eating these. Before I started this video, I did already wash the herbs. Okay, so let's get the garlic and the onion. So what's interesting about eggplant too is that it was used in ancient times medicinally. In fact, in India, in Ayurvedic medicine, eggplant was thought to help treat diabetes. And so what we know from our modern Western science today is that it actually may help treat diabetes because there's polyphenols, these are chemicals natural to the plant, that actually help us to process sugars in our blood. So there you go, ancient wisdom proven to be true. And as I said, it also has fiber. And it has kind of a nice meaty texture, so it is a great meat substitute. If you're needing that kind of texture and something to help you feel full with your meals, then eggplant is a good option. Now, it's not that high in protein, so that 3.5 ounce serving or 100 grams of eggplant has only 1 gram of protein. But note, it does have some, right? That's 1 gram, so it all adds up. With the tofu, then with this, 1 gram, we're going to be throwing some brown rice in there. We're going to throw some peanuts in there. I forgot to mention the nutrition benefits here. So a serving size is 3 ounces, which is what I cut. For protein, it's 14 grams in the tofu. So we had 14 grams in the tofu cooking. We have 1 gram with the eggplant, possibly. Let's see, I mean, that might be about 3.5 ounces serving, maybe a little bit more. And then we're going to throw some peanuts in there, which is going to give us more protein. So we're probably going to get about 25 grams of protein in this meal for those who are worried about getting adequate protein. I can hear the tofu sizzling, so let's take a peek and check on it. We don't want it to get stuck, so you do want to lift it, move it around so that it doesn't get stuck to your pan. You can lift it, check if it's getting browned on the underside before you flip it over. Okay, so we'll let that still cook just a little bit. We're almost ready with the vegetables. Now, people want to know, is eggplant safe to eat? Because there's all that talk about being a nightshade vegetable. Yes, it's a nightshade plant. Nightshade is a family of plants. Included are potatoes, eggplant, tomatoes, and peppers. Peppers of all kinds. Sweet, hot, you name it. They're all nightshades. So nightshades have an ingredient called solanine. Solanine is what is thought to be the inflammatory component, but it's in such small amounts that honestly for most people it's fine. But if you do feel that you have increased joint pain after eating eggplant, by all means, just don't eat it. Eliminate that from your diet. If you think that's adding to your arthritis pain, for people who have the inflammatory types like rheumatoid arthritis, it's possible. So if that is bothering you, then obviously eggplant won't be the best choice for you. So then choose a different vegetable. Okay, let's take a look at our tofu. It should be ready to flip by now. Yes, it's nice and brown. I like my tofu crispy, personally. It does splatter a little bit, so careful when you're cooking, but see, crispy. Okay, so while that's still cooking, we can go ahead and toss this in next to it. Most people, it's rare to have an allergy to eggplant, so you can have a sensitivity, but that's not the same thing as an allergy. So allergy means like you get a rash, your tongue goes numb and tingles, swells, facial rash, and so on. It may be difficult to talk. If you have those signs, then you have an allergy. Do not eat eggplant anymore and go to your doctor, have it checked out. Otherwise, you might have a sensitivity, and again, it would likely be to the salinine, possibly. How would you know? Well, the usual kind of gut symptoms. We're going to add some sweet pepper, just a little bit. Gut symptoms being bloating after eating, pain, stomach pain, diarrhea or constipation, gas. So if you're feeling those symptoms and the other foods in your meal other than the eggplant are familiar to you and don't cause those symptoms, then perhaps it is the eggplant. That's how you know in general if you have a sensitivity. And then of course you can get it checked out a little bit. Investigate further with your doctor. Okay, so we've got all the veggies we're going to use. That's about 2 cups of vegetables in this meal. Don't forget there's minuscule but some amount of protein in the other vegetables in here too. It's not going to be high protein, but it's going to add to our protein profile for the entire meal. Okay, so I'm ready to add some soy sauce, or tamari really is the kind I use. I use organic soy sauce. And oftentimes, this is just one of many you could choose from at H-E-B as well. I'm going to do it over top of the tofu to give it flavor. Now people worry about soy and its possible risk to cancer. That's only true for processed soy. So your fake meats kind of thing. This kind of soy is minimally processed like cheese. So it is actually found to be protective against breast cancer and other cancers because of the natural phytoestrogens. Also, for women going through perimenopause and menopause, soy will reduce possibly your having the hot flashes kind of symptoms. I don't suffer from hot flashes, and I'm just about to hit menopause, and I'm sure it's because I eat tofu every day. Okay, we do want to add our herbs. And we do want to add some chili pepper too, actually. And I have some fresh. Yay! It's just an added, oh my gosh, flavor when it's fresh. Homegrown, especially. But of course, you can always buy some in the grocery store fresh too. Nothing wrong with using dried. If that's all you got, throw in some dried chili pepper seeds. But if you have fresh, it just rounds out the flavors so nicely. Okay, so we're going to toss in the fresh veg. Now you want to cut or use the amount that you think you can handle, right? So I have here, I washed it yesterday. I have a whole bunch in my drawer of my fridge because they're just growing prolifically at the moment. We're going to go ahead and use the whole thing because that was just a small, this is a serrano pepper. It's red and long and skinny, but small. If you want to disperse the flavor better, chop it up more small, you decide. And just so your tofu doesn't start burning on the bottom, do turn your heat down and lift every once in a while. And actually it's time to go ahead and just cube it. So I go in half. This is my easy, lazy way. I cooked it this way on purpose whole so that it can get crispy on both sides. A little trick of mine. And then I just go through like this with a spatula to cube it. And now we're going to mix it all. We still got to add our grain, our whole grain, so I'm fine with brown rice. It doesn't bother me. My body likes it, so I'm going to throw in some brown rice. Throw in our chilies, let that cook. There's different approaches, right, with using your spices. You can throw them in the oil of choice first to bloom the flavor. That is traditional in Indian cooking and possibly Asian too. But, you know, you play with it. Do what works for you. Okay, add some peanuts. So I prefer raw when it comes to nuts because then we don't have the acrylamides. And we've got a handful here. That's about 2 tablespoons. That's it. So we got the heat low. Mix that up. Let the flavors kind of marinate and seep in together. And we just need to add the brown rice. The veg is all looking good. My eggplant is looking translucent on the skin, browning in the center. The key for eggplant for me is to cook it the right amount to get the texture. So if you've been watching my other videos, you know that I pre-cook in an Instapot brown rice. And then I portion it out each meal. I don't cook it with anything other than water so that I can change my flavors every day. So I'm going to portion out about a cup. Brown rice also has protein. Okay, our meal is just about done. We just need that rice to get warm, and it will warm up very fast from the rest of the ingredients. Let's turn the heat right off, actually. So again, we've got sesame oil as our healthy fat. The peanuts are our healthy fat too, as well as protein. And we've got our eggplant, a little bit of sweet pepper, onion, garlic, fresh herbs from the garden, including basil and parsley, and then a fresh chili pepper chopped up. So this will be really nice flavors, a delicious complete meal. High in protein. This is going to be, you know, I'm going to calculate it and add it in the notes, but this is going to be at least 25 grams, possibly 30. With having added those peanuts, we've put in a significant increase in our protein content. All right. Let that sit for a minute, and then if there is things stuck at the bottom, so see from the cooking the tofu, if you let it sit just for a minute, then the moisture from the food makes all that lift off, and you'll be able to clean your pan super easy afterwards. All my little tricks, sharing with you. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea of a really healthy meal that is complete. It is with eggplant. Again, it's a nightshade, so if you do suffer from an inflammatory condition that's systemic, like rheumatoid arthritis or autoimmune disease, you got inflammation happening in your body in general, nightshades may not be good for you. They might be aggravating. You only know by testing it, by eating it, and if you feel your symptoms get worse, then maybe it's not for you. But otherwise, it's a nutritious vegetable to eat with fiber of a color that will feed specific good bacteria in your gut and help your gut health, brain health, and immune function. And it's high protein meal, all from plants, and it's minimally processed. Everything is coming from just fresh food. And again, the tofu is minimally processed. It is not a high processed soy product. It's a minimally processed soy product that is actually beneficial and anti-cancer, as opposed to highly processed soy in the form of fake meats and dairy and all that kind of stuff, like ice creams and so on made with soy. Okay, so I hope that it was helpful, and though I'm talking while making it, it makes this video long, The actual time to make this meal would be 15 minutes or less. That's it. So easy on time, easy on the budget, and nutritious, whole food, plant-based, and high in protein. Thank you, and check out my other videos. That's all for now.